Good morning, Year 4. It's Tuesday, the 2nd of February, and today we're going to plan a circus story. I just want to point out a couple of bits first of all. First of all, the spelling of February, children. When I see your work this month, I want it spelt correctly every single time. Just be careful, it's about this R here. A lot of people like to spell it February without the R after the B. So I am really looking for that in your work today, and for the rest of February. So really make a huge effort. I have saved on Teams and also on this video 3 lovely little videos that will really help you get inspired for this circus story today. So have a little look at those. You can pause this video now and open up those on YouTube, and that will really get you in the mood and the feel for this story that we're going to plan together. Now, our butterfly lion, of course, is based, has an element of circus. And so what we're going to do is just look a little bit about if we were to plan the butterfly lion, what would that planning have looked like? And we're going to use a similar sort of model when you are going to do your planning today for your story. Okay, so first of all, you need to think about your characters. Of the characters in the butterfly line, the really important characters, we've got Bertie, we've got Mum and Dad, and we've got the French circus master. And I've limited that to, I think, 4 for that part of the story in the butterfly lion is enough. For your story, 3 or 4 is the most you need for your story today. Okay, but those are the characters. Right, the setting. Where is this story set? Well, the majority of the story is set in that African veld, and it has a full description and it has lots of noun phrases, and we did loads of work on that a couple of weeks ago. But the setting of your story is important. You don't have to set it in Africa, you can set it somewhere else. But the description at that point is really important, that setting, to give that reader an idea of where your story is taking place. The animal or pet that you choose today, well, in the butterfly line, of course, it's a white lion cub, okay? And again, there's a full description of that cub with lots of noun phrases. So whatever you choose, you need to think about your noun phrases for your animal or pet. So those are the first 3 things you must think about in your planning session today. The next 3 things really are the events in the story, the things that happen. And for the purpose of this short story that you're going to do, it is going to be 2 key events and then an ending. All right, so it's not going to be a massive, huge story, fairly short story, but it's going to have some key events. So what are those key events for Bertie? Well, the key event number 1 is the fact that he brings that lion to live with him. That's quite important, isn't it? And there's a big description about that and how that builds up into the story. The second key event really after that is the lion is taken away from him, taken by that circus master, the French circus master. And that is very important in the story. Then the ending part of the story would be that Bertie finds the lion and brings him home. Okay, so for your planning, you're going to be thinking, what's the first key event in my story? What's the second key event? And what's the third, the ending part? Okay, now it doesn't have to be like the butterfly lion. You can make up your own sequence of events. It doesn't have to be the same, but if you're struggling, you can make it very similar to this structure. If you want to, you can make it that your character has an animal at home with them, but it's taken away by a circus master, but at the end they find it again. So you can follow the events in a similar way if you're struggling with your own idea. Okay. The other things that are important in this story are the things that we've been learning in our English. So you are going to have some speech in this story. Who is going to speak? You need to think who is speaking and what is the point for them to, why are they going to speak? It needs to be purposeful. They need to have conversations. So in our story, when I've been thinking about the butterfly lion, the places that are really important for that speech are when Bertie and his mum talk about the lion, and also when Bertie talks to the circus master when he's finding the lion towards the end of the story. And I've reminded myself as well that the words for said need to be thought about at this point. These two arrows, children, here and here, indicate in the story where my speech is going to go. So I've got my characters introduced here. I've got my setting. I've got this animal that comes in and the character brings the animal home. And then I've got my second event. But between those two events, I'm going to have my characters speaking. Again, between these two events, I'm going to have my characters speaking, interacting. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to have them speaking all the way through, because if I get speaking all the way through, it is not a good story. Okay? The other thing you're going to think about in planning today is you're going to think about your noun phrases. So you've done lots of work on this, so you can use your previous work to help you with your noun phrases. And you're going to think about your adverbial openers that you might use in this story. But again, you've got previous work that's going to help you with that element. So this is a plan of the story if I was writing The Butterfly Lion. Okay? Right, let's think about your task then. Very important, you do not write the story today. Okay, I do not want the story written today. First thing you need to do is watch the videos to give you some inspiration. You'll see on those videos there are lions, there are elephants, there are dogs, there are all sorts of different circus acts as well that will really help you, give you that inspiration. Okay? You are going to plan a story about a character finding an animal and keeping it as a pet. Okay? You must not be in the story. Okay, it is a character. You need to create a character. The Butterfly Lion character is Bertie. Okay, so you are not in the story. You need a character's name. Plan what happens when the animal is taken to the circus. How does your character feel and how does that come about? Plan how your character meets the animal again at the end of the story. Remember, Bertie finds the lion, the fully grown lion by then at the end of the story. Remember, jot down some noun phrases and adverbial openers that you will use as well. Okay? Your characters will speak, but only 2 or 3 times. You need to plan that interaction. You need to think about what are they going to be talking about. It needs to be meaningful. Are they going to have a debate and a bit of an argument, discussion like Bertie and his mum did over whether or not to keep the lion cub in the house? You know, you need to think about that. Okay? Remember, when you plan, it's jottings and ideas and not full sentences. Okay? You need to save all your lovely describing sentences for when you write the story later in the week. I am not expecting sentences. What I'm expecting is a plan that looks a bit like this with jottings in every box. Okay? And this is what it looks like on Teams. A box for your characters, a box for your setting, animal, your key event number 1, and then it's key event number 2, and then it's your ending, and then it's who is going to speak, and all the things I've got on here, it's on your planning sheet. So you can see it's not a big planning sheet. I only want jottings, just the important things for your story. Okay, boys and girls, I look forward to looking at your plans. Enjoy the video clips that I've put on here that will help you, give you some ideas for a circus. And remember to spell February correctly. Goodbye.